Seems we have another one with Kaitlin. Well, no, let me say that again. Seems we have another one with the Kaitlin Bennett because she's a beast. That's my homie right there. Rapunzel. Yeah. Awesome Kaitlin Bennett. All right. And we about to check this out. She is debating somebody from Black Lives Matter. And we already know how these conversations usually go, but I'm not going to jump in there and conclude that they're, you know, just trying to yell over one another, and because they're just playing a chess game. A real conversation is not being had because one side just want to point out all of the reasons why we should remain a victim, and they don't want to listen to how we can come together and move forward in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so let's go and check this out. Also, before I move forward, I want to say thank you to all 7 of the people who have went to hatsforsale.com and purchased the hat. They used LFR 10 and got 10% off and realized, hey, we get free shipping all over America. Thank you so much. Let's go and check this lady.
Hey, Asian boy.
What's your name?
My name's Kaitlin. What's your name?
Katrina. We don't need to say, oh, the black girl over there with the hat. Oh, yeah, her with the stripe. Like, no.
Yeah, this white girl with the 100 SPF because she burns so easily. We don't say that.
Let's just stop saying that so it won't be a problem anymore. That's where we have to try to fix it within ourselves too, because we do have a little bit of a problem. We just have to stop always putting race in the mix. It can be out.
Hello, somebody. Thank you. Young lady, okay. It look like you okay. We got something. We got something here, Kaitlin.
Do you think then they should take off Black Lives Matter on the road right there if we want to get rid of dividing races or picking one out of things? Should we get rid of the Black Lives Matter?
No? Not yet, no.
But we're talking about we don't want to, you know, separate based on the races.
I know, but we still have to get to that point. But like I said, until we both come to the understanding that Black lives does matter because of all the stuff that they've been through, and let it be known that it is a problem and never went away, until that is acknowledged, then all lives matter. You see what I'm saying? Then all that can come off once that is finally acknowledged, that you
don't think in America in 2020 that you don't think everyone agrees that Black lives matter, that humans, do you think everyone agrees that white lives matter?
Honestly, I believe all white lives matter. I do believe that.
But do you think America as a whole would agree with you that white lives matter just like Black lives matter? Because if you take a poll...
No.
You don't think so?
No. Not all Americans will believe. No. Because I do believe America is still based on white. It's the truth. You guys are the dominant. And sorry, take that back. No, I don't need to say you guys, but the dominant, like.
Are we dominant, or are we the majority of a skin color? Because when you say we're dominant, you're implying that we have dominance over people, which is not true. I don't believe in systemic racism. I don't think there's a police brutality problem against people of color in America. That's statistically not true. It's not happening. And we can dive into that. But if we look at the statistics and we look at the crime rates and we look at who is being brutalized by the police, it's not a racial problem.
I don't agree with you at that at all.
People, I want to explain one thing right quick. One thing. Okay, first of all, I like the energy between them two. I like the energy. I'm believing that we're about to get a really good conversation between these two, because it's not the same combative energy that usually faces Kaitlin Bennett when she presents these ideas. But I do want to tell y'all something, just in case you don't understand this part right here. From your periphery, from your vantage point, from your view, from your scope, from your algorithm, you see one thing. You see the stuff that interests you, okay? This young lady right here, she don't have the same algorithm as most of you. That's what's important. It's what's being showed to her, same thing has been showed to me. And the reason why I am, as some of you will say in the comments, because I read the comments all the time, y'all are so daggone intelligent, and sometimes I feel a little uneasy hanging out with the level of intelligence with you all, because it's like, anyway, let me just say this. I'm about to move on with the video. What she see is not necessarily what you see, because that's not what's being fed to her. So she's going to speak from her side. And we need to try and understand her side. Might not be truthful to you, but at least try to understand it. That's why her and Kaitlin are having this nice energy right now. Okay, let's move forward, because this right here is going to be good, and I'm looking forward to it.
Do you mind if I take 10 seconds to try to change your mind?
Go ahead.
So,
I
13.
believe in knowledge.
Yes.
Knowledge is power.
So, because you didn't know that about Black Lives Matter and their mission statement and everything about, so with everything going on, and I'm sure, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you believe with the Black Lives Matter movement, there's probably a police brutality problem within the Black community, right? You think they're a target? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is that something you would say yes?
Yeah, because just the reality is how many Black people are in jail right now, in prison. Look at that number.
Okay. Let's talk about how many unarmed Black men were shot in 2019 by the police, shot and killed.
I don't know how many men that...
With everything going on, it's painted on our streets, there's riots happening, there's protests happening. Would you think that number is substantial? Because we're just talking about it nonstop. Black Lives Matter, police brutality. If you had to put a number on it, what would you guess? What range?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I would just say it's a good number, because in the end, it doesn't even matter about the number. The reality is, if you just felt threatened and this person was unarmed and you didn't follow procedure and went ahead and shoot him, I'm sorry, you felt threatened because of his color. That's how I feel.
I think the numbers do matter, because when we look at the numbers, we find that 9 unarmed Black men were shot and killed by the police. All came back justified except for 2. And the officers were held accountable for that.
So basically what she was saying was she's trying to get her to understand the side of, she wanted her to see the reality of what she does not know, or what she's claiming not to know. So she's starting with numbers. And this lady is saying, well, I see where you're going with this, and I'm not going to let you do this. So it is going to be somewhat of a chess match, because she's seen what she's saying to be true. I completely understand what you're saying. I understand what you're trying to set it up to say. That's what the Black lady is saying to Kaitlin. The young lady is saying to another young lady. And Kaitlin is like, no, because these facts actually matter. But we need to understand both sides, so let's continue. This is good, man. Let's have a healthy conversation after this.
There's a lot of numbers that are out there we don't know. The cops keep it within themselves. Do you think they don't do things to keep things together?
Let's do a hypothetical. Let's pretend it's not just something that they made up. Let's pretend these are the numbers. Does that shock you that it was 9?
9's still too many.
I agree with you, but does it shock you?
No, it doesn't.
Is it surprising?
No, it's not surprising, because how I feel, I'm like, 9 is a number, but still the reality is how many Black people are in prison.
Why do you think more Black people are in prison?
Exactly.
Why do you think?
Because I do believe racism is still alive. Like, every little thing is like, oh, let's go ahead and put this guy in there, instead of that same other race guy can do the same exact thing, but he get a lesser charge than that person. That is a problem.
Well, do you think it's purely by... Okay, give me the numbers. Do you know the population, the percentage of population in America that is African Americans, Black people?
That are in prison?
No, just the population in general. No. So there's 13% of the population are Black people. Okay? Black people commit, that 13% of the population, over 50% of violent crimes in our country. Do you think that might account for why there are more Black people in prison, or the jail, or the system?
But why do you think it's 50%? Why? That means you're saying Black people are troublemakers.
I'm not saying that. Those aren't my words.
I know,
but
listen, she's presenting you some words. I mean, Kaitlin is presenting you some numbers right now. She's saying it's 13% of us in the country. We commit 50% of violent crimes. All she's saying is, these are the numbers. What do you think? Basically, and this is just me. I believe our culture, African American culture, I think our culture went left. Not left as far as liberal. went left as far as wrong when we allowed certain things to contribute to our culture. And when we allowed those things to contribute, specifically drill rap. Drill rap right now is killing more young people in the streets than anything. We celebrate drill rap. We purchase it. We listen to it. We support the artists. We love it. We turn up at parties from it. We hire them at clubs. We make them rich. Other young people see that and they want to be just like them. They start doing drill rap too. Drill rap, so that y'all can understand, that's the more aggressive rap that started. People say it started in Chicago, where ironically, more black on black killings there than anywhere in the country. Some people say it started in the UK. But the point I'm making is it spread like wildfire throughout the United States, throughout the world. And it spread because of music. When I was growing up, not many rap artists were being killed by other people in the street. Rap artists who were being killed, we still remember their names because it was so few. Nowadays, it's like every other day, another new artist, another new rapper is being killed. And is usually tied into that style of music called drill. All right? It's something that y'all should look into. But we're not going to accept accountability for that because we think that we think it makes us look wild by accepting that. But we need to accept that that part of our culture is adding fuel to the fire.
If you get that from the numbers, if that's what the numbers say, then that might explain why there are more black people in our prison systems. No, you don't. You think it's racism?
I do believe because, like I said, in the end, knowledge is power, but yes, numbers with 9 people altogether got killed from police. Okay, still it's 9 too many, and still how many people are in prison? Still, that's a lot of people. So you can't just tell me, oh, automatically just. Well, black people, you just need to stop doing stupid stuff. Like,
well, I didn't say that.
No, I know you didn't say that. I'm not saying that you said that, but in general, I'm taking it from my opinion.
I say that. 1,000% I say that. Absolutely. And you're not gonna make me believe that a great majority of African Americans who are arrested were arrested simply because they're black. You're not gonna make me believe that at all. Bruh. And not 1 second.
From what I'm hearing is like, still at the same time, it is a problem.
Well, maybe. I just want to maybe give you the idea that maybe you could walk away from this and think that maybe it's not because of racism. Maybe it's because the black community does commit more crime. That would make their communities more policed. You don't think it's possible that they commit that much crime?
No.
And it's partially because of racism too. And yes, we do commit more crime. I mean, more violent crime, not amongst our own. Just like other communities commit more crime amongst their own. But guess what? We usually stay out of people's business. And when we're minding our own and we're not minding other people's business, not minding people's business is a good thing and a bad thing. Reason why it's a bad thing is because we don't understand what's going on in their community. So we're assuming that the same way we're committing crimes in our communities, that's the same exact way white people, Asian people, Latinos, Hispanics are committing crime in their communities as well. And that's so far from the truth. And plus, think about this. We put our crime on a billboard. Black people put our crime on a billboard. We sell it every single day. This is how a lot of our youngins are becoming rich at very young ages. We put our crime on a billboard. We talk about what we do. We rap about what we do. We sing about what we do. All the crimes that we commit. We tell on ourselves. We snitching like hell. So when you know that and you're a police and you're in these areas and you're literally seeing other black people being shot and killed all the time by other black people, of course you're not going to have that same calm you would have if you were working in a community that looked like that had another race of individuals in it who don't put their crimes out there in songs, who don't have a white person killing a white person all the time. It's like, it's not happening all the time. You're going to have a different approach to the community that you're, and that's another thing too. They're saying that, I'm hearing that from Black Lives Matter, from people who support Black Lives Matter. They're saying that these urban communities are being policed by officers who don't understand them, who come from other areas and don't understand them. Guess what? I don't understand your ass either. I don't understand it. I don't understand why we always got to hurt one another. I don't get it. $1 is not that important. Swag is not that important. Being popular is not that important. Dressing better than somebody is not that important. Like the things that we hold over everything is not that important to me. And I'm speaking from somebody who's from these places, but I decided to raise my family different so that they wouldn't have to grow up like me without a father and without a mother. I wanted to make sure that they were straight. But because we are lacking that decision-making and that level of accountability and responsibility, we continue to go down that path. You think you mean to tell me that you believe that police officers aren't listening to the music that we're putting out? We are literally telling them what to expect when you come into our communities. Matter of fact, on our songs, we say that we're also going to shoot the police. So, riddle me this. You're a police officer. You go into a community that celebrates the type of music that talks about killing me. And you're just going to approach them with the same level of calm that you approach anybody else? If your answer is yes, then you're a lie. You're lying to yourself. You're not being realistic. You're being extremely disingenuous. And I need for us to just consider the fact that there's so many things that are adding toward this. Are there some racist people still in the system? Hell yeah, there is. Why? Because it comes from a long time. And you can't change. Sometimes when things started a long time ago and it constantly moves like this, some people are not going to change. Some people are not going to change. Just simple and plain. There's still a bunch of racist individuals, but it's not most. Was the system set up in order to keep a certain people down? I believe so. It was a system set up in order to keep a certain people down. Why? Because the people that were in charge of it were those people that wanted to be protected. Point blank, period. Did it progress and get better? Far better. Did it progress? It progressed so much, it's crazy. Look at us now. We are thriving, man. We are doing whatever we want. We are saying whatever we want to say. We are celebrated on a high level, even for the BS that we do in our own communities. It's ridiculous, man. We celebrate this mess. But then when somebody approaches us, oh, what you doing? What you doing? You got something in your pocket? You got something in your pocket? Lift your hands. Move. They're scared. We are selling violence. We sell it. We thrive off of selling it. The richest black people I know, they sell that type of narrative. Think about it. Who's the richest black people you know? And don't hit me with no Oprah. I want to hear the real, like, be real with me. And I'm talking to black people that are watching this. Think about that. And people want to be like them. But before Jay-Z grew up and became the businessman that he is, before 50 Cent grew up and became the businessman he is, before Dr. Dre grew up and became the businessman he is, before Rick Ross grew up and became the businessman he is, Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs grew up, became the businessman he is. They was gangsters with it. They was hustlers with it. And the stuff they talked about in the songs was real stuff. But somehow, some way, they were able to escape their environment, become better citizens, and do something legal and start getting people legal jobs, legal money. But of course, the only way out for them was to tell their stories. And they told their stories, and we bought it, and we celebrated, and all that stuff. 50 Cent is my favorite rapper. He is. His story resonated a lot with me. And I can sing all of that. I don't care how much I'm growing or how astute or professional I'm becoming, all this other stuff. If a 50 Cent song came on, I'm saying it from beginning to end. No matter how many killed this and killed that, N-word that and N-word that come on, I'm right on top of it, word for word for word for word. But I do understand what that presents to people who don't all look at it as just art. Some people look at it as a confession. That's why you have artists right now who are facing crimes, and the court system are using their music as a witness to their crimes because they are telling on themselves. And they're speaking about it like, I'm so big, I done got through it, I done got over it, I'm untouchable. So if you're a police officer and you're walking into that type of smoke, yeah, you're going to be a little antsy too.
I actually don't.
Why not?
I don't. Because the amount of people, if you say there's like, with 13%, how many percent is the white people?
I think it's about, I want to say 60, because there's a whole bunch of other races.
So there's 60. All right, just say 60. Just use that number. We have 13, and 30% predominantly, most of them are bad. Versus the reality is, most of these serial killers, who are they? Who are the people that actually shoot up schools? Who are the people that actually shoot up in Los Angeles? Who are they?
9% of the country are black men. They commit more than 50% of all murders in the country. All murders of any.
Serial.
Kaitlin, this is something that I think. Here's something that, see, Kaitlin is going through something as well. She's young as well. I don't care how much we love her because she's extremely intelligent. She's on point with her argument, with her side and everything. But Kaitlin, at some point too, you need to start acknowledging the information you're receiving too. When they're talking about, and yes, we're trading crime for crime now. She's saying, but what about the people who shoot up schools? What about the serial killers? What about that? The answer is white people, Kaitlin. Say that, white people. You just got to say it. And once you say it, you're going to understand the argument that's coming from that side. Does it make it right? No. No, it does not. Because these people are the crazy, grabbed the daggone gun and decided one day, you know what? I'm just going to go shoot up somebody. I don't give a damn who it is. As a matter of fact, I'm going to shoot my own mama first. Shoot my grandmama first. Shoot my uncles first. Shoot my own kids first, and then I'm going to go shoot up everybody else. Then people have lost it, given up on life, and they are done. And the answer is 9 times out of 10, those people are the white people that do that. Does it matter for the conversation? Well, for that young lady, it does, but we have to acknowledge it first. Sometimes we need to accept the fact that the people who that group consider to be dangerous might be damn dangerous. And guess what? They look like me. But don't expect for them to accept the information that you're giving them if you're not going to accept the information that they're giving you. Statistics still show what statistics still show. And I get that. We want them to understand that. But they're not going to acknowledge what you're trying to get across unless you acknowledge what they're trying to get across. This is just something that's just called a conversation. And it becomes combative. It becomes a debate. It becomes all that other stuff simply because we have a point to make.
Serial killers. If we start with serial killers, because I'm one of those people that I'm really into investigations, true crimes, crime junkie. I'm a crime junkie fan. No, there's a lot of 60%, you said 60%, right? Of them that they do a lot of crazy crimes.
They sure
but
do.
All of a sudden, we're the ones that, because we're such a small number, we're 13 compared to you. We're the most dangerous ones.
I'm not saying you're the most dangerous,
thing.
and I don't want you to think that I'm saying that or claiming that about the black
I know,
community.
I
I'm not,
understand
but I really want you to maybe look at, instead of looking at TV shows and documentaries and things that want to grab your attention, look at the statistics. 9% of the population in America are black men. Over 50% of murders in our country. Murders. So when you want to talk about serial killers, those are added into their murders.
If you want to be realistic,
Because
on
we're not
both
talking
sides.
about, we're not chanting white lives matter. We're talking about black lives matter. Black people
But what is the
are
reason why
chanting
Black
this.
Lives Matter, though? What is the main reason why Black Lives Matter? Because they just want to let it be known that, hey, we have a problem here. Just acknowledge me.
But
Just
what is the
understand.
problem? Is the problem the police, or is the problem within their community?
The problem is, accept me. I'm not a bad person.
No, I don't think anybody thinks that, but the statistics show.
Statistics shows that you guys think that. Just think about it. So you just
I
simply
think
say-
that?
Statistics shows that you think that black people are bad.
No,
The
no.
numbers that you just said.
Statistics can't show what people think. Statistics just show what the reality is, and we can look at statistics and graphs and things that have been collected over decades, and we can see where the problems might be within these communities that are destroying the cities right now. We can look at these statistics, and we can maybe narrow down where the issue might be. And if we want to solve issues, I tell you what, Black Lives Matter is not the place we need to look for solving issues with police brutality when they want to take the fathers out of the home. You remove the fathers, you destroy the nuclear family for children that need to grow up in a stable family structure. Their odds of committing crime and going to jail skyrocket. I don't know why we say black people have an issue with the police and then want to make their risk of getting involved in the police go up. I would encourage you to look at their mission statement and then look at the statistics about what happens when we take fathers out of the home, especially for the black community. It is detrimental to them.
I think it was a few weeks
Kaitlin just now preached. She just now said some really nice stuff. I mean, seriously, she was spot on. I have no objections for anything she just now said whatsoever. But this is a great conversation.
ago, I don't know, some guy was just trying to go in a car with his kids, 3 kids. I don't know that. I don't know the full story about that, but based on what I've seen so far, you can't tell me that's not a problem.
Well,
but it's still
I would like to
your
talk about that,
opinion.
because if you
My
don't know the
opinion.
full story, he had a warrant out for his arrest for sexual offenses and domestic violence, and he was involved in an altercation. He was fighting with the police. He actually had, I think, an object in his hand. I don't want to say a knife because I don't know for sure. He had an object in his hand fighting with the police, and they told him not to go in the car because he had said, "I have a gun in the car." So he was going
Okay, but
into
what
the
about
car.
the guy that actually just fell and that they literally blatantly killed and put
Who?
whatever I forgot his name. That's bad. But
It was
he
George
pointed me-
Floyd.
George Floyd.
Did you watch
But
any
in the
body
end,
cam
I
footage?
feel like-
Hold on. Did you watch any body cam footage?
Yes, I actually did. I did watch the body cam footage.
And he was saying he can't breathe. I can't
Yes.
breathe. He said, yes. So he said I couldn't breathe several times, saying he's claustrophobic. He can't get.
If you
I mean, we
don't
are in
feel
public, and if you want to record us, I welcome it. I love being on camera. It's great. But you are in public. Seriously, if you think there's an issue, I don't want any problems, but call the police if there is an issue. But I would encourage you.
Say that don't record her. Just don't record her. Like,
Right, but
I'm
she's
okay.
laughing at a situation
But
that is
that's her
detrimental to
opinion.
our country.
That's her
Right.
opinion. It's your opinion. The same thing. Like I'm
It's
trying
not
to
an
say
opinion.
in-
What happened?
Here's the thing. The young lady that's over to the side, she's interrupting an interview. She's in public, regardless if she want to be recorded or not. If you don't want to be recorded, shut your ass up. Facts. You don't want to be recorded, be quiet. It's that simple. But when you start speaking, you're now part of the show because it's also audio. So you clearly want to be a part of it, but you don't want to be a part of it because you don't have anything of substance to add to the conversation. So when you throw in your little extras, you're in the background, you're singing in the background and throwing in your ad libs. Okay, we're going to acknowledge you. Oh, keep that camera out my face. I did not give you permission to record me. Well, guess what? You don't know your rights because this is public and I can record you and you entered into this conversation. We didn't say anything to you. You the one jumped in with your giggling and hackling. Okay, you want to okay, we're gonna put you in a daggone conversation.
Happened in the body cam footage. It's not an opinion
about what happened.
Oh, I'm not talking about feelings. I am talking about facts about what happened.
It's an opinion how you feel about the facts. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that is an opinion.
How you feel about the facts.
It sure is.
Versus my opinion, how I feel about the facts. I'm not trying to get in an argument because personally it doesn't affect me. Because in the end, what bound to happen is bound to happen. I'm not going to be stressed over this. I do believe all lives matter, but I do believe in the end, until you fully understand there's a problem with the black community, then no lives matter. But I am a firm believer of all lives matter. I'm one of those people. But at the same time, we all need to fully understand each other's side.
That is so true. We do all need to fully understand each other's sides. But we can't do that unless we want to understand each other's sides. And that's the reason why we do these videos. Because young lady, I love the way you present yourself. I love the way that you conduct you're doing a hell of a job presenting your side. But until we are more on the offense and not on defense, we take some time to try and understand their side, then you're going to start to be more neutral, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. And I'm speaking from, like, this is something I'm going through right now.
You keep saying to understand each other's sides, but you keep telling me things that aren't happening, and it's right there in the body footage.
I'm trying to explain things that I see that's going on, and you're like, well, no, that's not facts.
Justin, what is this?
Okay, let's just.
I don't know. I feel like we should end this because I don't know what's going on.
Okay. It was nice.
Justin,
meeting you guys.
it is, Katrina, it was great meeting you. I appreciate the conversation.
I have no hard feelings.
No hard feelings at all. You're a stranger. I can't have hard feelings towards you. Katrina was amazing. Katrina was a very respectful person that I feel like was halfway open to listening to a conversation. I think she has a little bit of bias that is clouding her ability to see the truth of what's happening and what Black Lives Matter is and what is going on in the George Floyd case. Unfortunately, her friend, I mean, she's still laughing. She started laughing when I started talking about the truth about what happened with George Floyd. When we pointed the camera over at her, because she had a big old smile on, you'd think that she'd want to be in.
Don't want to take the heat when they get called out. That's exactly what happened. She couldn't take the heat. She was done. Okay, if I offended anybody by putting out my stance, it's okay. Sometimes you're going to feel offended because that wasn't my intention. Sometimes I'm going to give you a side that you don't quite understand because you're not familiar with that side. That's my whole point. That's what I add to the reactions. Okay? I'm not here to agree with the person I'm reacting to 100%. I'm here to listen to everything that's going on and give you my point of view as well. And you can take it or you can leave it. It's as simple as that. Hopefully you understood that. This was a good conversation though. Now it's your turn. I want to hear what you got to say about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. Love y'all.